Hi everyone, it's me again, and today we're gonna keep talking about the stuff what I wish I had known when I was a beginner nail technician. I have been in the business for 9 years and I have loads of experiences and I can share and I can help your journey if you're a beginner nail technician. What do I mean by beginner nail technician? If you just started out a few months ago or maybe a year ago and you have some difficulties and you are unsure about stuff and you just want to do better, you want to be more efficient and these kind of stuff. So this time I have a little bit of help because I always forget what I want to say. So before we jump in, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell thing and it will give you a notification every time I put up something new. So if you see in the last video, I was talking about colors and how to save money on products and stuff, and this time I'm going to be talking about a little bit different. So the best idea is if you have two different nail services. Let's say you have gel polish to offer and you have extensions. I noticed around me where I live in Northern Ireland. It's called Craigavon area. It's not like a really big place. We're like a half an hour away from Belfast, which is the capital of Northern Ireland. Long story short, I noticed that a lot of nail technicians in this area, they either do gel polish only or extension only. It gets a little bit more difficult. I don't know if it's you or not, but they can do waxing and tint, lash tint, makeup, and they offer a lot of different beauty services. But this time I just want to talk about the nails. So there are a lot of nail technicians around me that would only do gel polish. The thing is that if you offer only one service, just try to imagine if you want to go to a restaurant and that restaurant only offers you soups. Probably that restaurant wouldn't really attract a lot of people because they only serve one kind of thing. But if you, let's say, still a restaurant, but they offer soup and starters and meals and sides and desserts and drinks and cocktails, people may like, lovely, I can go here because I'm sure I'm going to find something I want, right? So the thing is, if you're a nail technician, you're going to have clients who want gel polish and you're going to have clients who want extensions. But if you do extensions, my advice would be don't do nails that are like this long, okay? So if you're a beginner nail technician, it's better off to start with short nails because they are quicker and easier to do. In another video, I'm going to talk about different kind of clients, but in this video, let's stick to this. So if you offer extensions, don't take really clients who really want something really long, really crazy, something really over the top, because for a beginner nail technician, it is hard. I tell you something, I'm a very good nail technician, but I'm not talented. I learned everything I know. There are people who are gifted and they pick up everything so much easier than others. Even if you feel that way, please don't overwhelm yourself, because once we are beginners, we just want to be more confident, because the problem when we are beginners that we don't have the confidence, we lack confidence and we are in fear and we are threatened. So try to make your life easier and don't overwhelm yourself with clients who want crazy nails, because usually it's not going to look like the way you wanted it, or she probably is going to send you a photo or show you a photo of it. It's not going to match and it's going to be a disappointment for you. It's going to be a disappointment for clients. So it's not a good idea. Okay. The other thing, what I can see a problem like very often, that when I get a new client who's coming from another nail technician, they come here and they say, yeah, I got my nails done and it didn't work out and they came off and they started to peel and they cracked and this kind of stuff. Okay. If there's a client who comes to you and says, okay, girl, I want gel polish on my nails. Before you say yes, and also I would like to mention, if you start to have questions before you start a nail treatment, then you're just not going like, okay, this is what you want white, okay, you want white French, okay, let's do it, and they pay what they want. Yeah, but you're going to look more professional if you start asking questions. The question, I mean, you ask, okay, What's your job? If she's a cleaner and she is cleaning an office or somebody else's house 8 hours a day, a gel polish wouldn't be good enough because it won't last. If somebody's a cleaner, I would rather offer extensions, even if they are short, or an overlay on their natural nail with a product that is good enough to do extension with, because that will last longer. If you have a new client, you don't know what they are like, so you don't know how they deal with their own nails. So basically, you don't have an experience with them. So when I have a new client, I tell them like, I'm a good nail tech. Yes, I don't know you. I don't know how you deal with your nails, but by the story you told me, I don't think the gel polish is the best thing for you. I would rather do this or that, whatever, that lasts longer, if you know what I mean. True story, one of my clients always gets like crazy nail art and she gets a lot of compliments, and she has a friend who went to another nail technician and she was always unhappy with her own nails, and my client told her, why don't you go to my nail girl, she's good enough. And she's like, oh, boo, 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 boo. Long story short, I'm expensive, and people, when they hear from me, they know I'm good and they know I'm expensive, but what I do, it will provide what they wanted, if you know what I mean. But there's always a question, people are willing to pay for it or not. But still another video. This lady booked in with me, the new one, and she came here and I went like, okay, what's your story? Even if I knew the story, part of the story from her friend, I'm still asking questions, okay? Like, that's how you treat the client the right way. She told me she was a biter and she was getting the gel polish and it was always coming off after 5-7 days and they never lasted. And she wants, because you ask her, what do you want to achieve? And she said she wanted to grow back her own nails nice. Okay, we can do that. And I told her, completely honest, it will take this much time. It's gonna take this many appointments to achieve what you wanted. I put in 100%, you put in 100%, and we're gonna achieve it together. So I'm gonna say more about this at the end of the video because that's gonna be the last point. But the thing is that she came back on the second appointment, she booked in the third appointment, and she came back with nothing missing, no cracks, no peel, no lifting, no nothing, because she got what she needed, not what she wanted. And I really hope you can understand what I mean by this. Yeah, there are people who are nail clients and they don't have that kind of nail knowledge what you have, what I have, right? It's the same thing. Like if I go to the hairdressers and I want a bob kind of shape, the hairdresser is going to tell me you're going to look like Willy Wonka or like a little mushroom. So you have to be honest with the client before they do something crap. You see it better, you know it better than them. And if you tell them, you explain them, they're going to look at you as an expert and they're going to trust you. So once you're a beginner nail technician, you have to build trust. The client has to look at you that you're an expert and you're confident and you know what you're doing. And to achieve this, you watch this video, you understand it, and you're gonna put this kind of little steps in your nail appointments, and people more likely come back to you because they feel safe with you, if you know what I mean. So this nail biter lady understood what I said. She was listening to me, and she can keep her nails because she got what she needed, not what she wanted. A lot of nail clients could be like, oh, my friend Jessica is getting gel polish, so I want gel polish. Yeah, but Jessica's sitting at home working on a computer or something, and you're a cleaner. Of course, it's not going to work for you exactly the same way, the way it worked to your friend, because you have completely different lives. If somebody has really thin nails, even if they are nice shape, and they always complaining it's cracking and breaking and they can't grow them, sometimes even the gel polish is not the best idea because they would need something stronger. But if you're interested in this, leave a comment and I can explain it in another video, okay? So the thing is, you have to be the expert. You are the nail technician and you have to explain. It's the same thing. One more thing, just an example. You go to hairdressers and you have black hair and you want blonde hair. I don't know how much is it possible to do it in one go, but if it's not possible, the hairdresser has to tell you, okay, girl, I know how much you want this, but this time we can achieve from black to light brown, and maybe 5-6 weeks later you can come back and you will achieve the blonde what you want, but they have to explain you, if I put this much bleach on your hair, it's gonna ruin your ends, you're gonna have to get a haircut later on, and these kind of stuff. So that's the thing, like people, because they don't know the profession, they have an idea in their head, and usually the idea is wrong, and you have to correct them. Even if I always tell my clients that it can make you feel bad what I'm just about to say, but I'm rather honest, and you hate me for my honesty, then I do what you want, and you're gonna be unhappy with the result. Okay? So I really hope I didn't hurt anybody's feelings, but that's the truth. And the last thing I wanted to talk about today, because maybe it seems to you that I'm talking about nothing, but if you start to use these kind of little tricks and tips I'm telling you, you will get more quality clients. That's also another video, because I could talk about clients for like a lifetime, but once you get into the job, you will appreciate nice clients, and you're going to understand that there are clients who are not good clients, and you don't want them in your business, because they can ruin your day, and they can ruin your life, and also your time schedule. So the last thing I wanted to talk about today is, I don't know, girls or boys, or girls and boys, if you do this at the end of the treatment. So once you get a new client, even if they never had their nails done before and you are their first nail technician ever, or even if they come from somewhere else, I always tell them at the end of the nail appointment what they should do and what they should not do with their nails. Because let's say down the line you are a wonderful nail technician who does beautiful, amazing, long-lasting nails, but a crop client, they don't even have to be cropped, they just don't know what to do and what not to do. They can still ruin their nails, and they give you the feeling that you are a bad nail technician when you are not. Okay, so at the end of the nail appointment, I always tell them, don't pick them, poke them, bite them, lick them, don't play with them, because they can ruin your nail. So if somebody is doing this all the time, it will ruin their nails, because they get a little hit every single time like this. And after a while, it's gonna cause the peel off, okay? If they clean and if they use strong chemicals like bleach, domestos, or whatever you have in your country, it's a strong chemical which will interact with her nails, even if it's gel or acrylic. You know, gel is a special type of plastic, right? And if they don't use gloves, basically the strong chemical is going to peel off their nails, and it's never going to happen just after they clean the house. It's usually happening a day or 2 days after, and they're sitting at home and they'd be like, I paid this much money for these nails and now they are off. Yeah, because nobody told them use gloves before you start cleaning your house. I always tell them, if you do the dishes and you have the dish soap, it's completely fine, because it's a not strong chemical. But bleach and domestos and the stuff what you use in the bathroom to clean, they will be strong enough to destroy your nails. But I was very, 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 very beginner. There was the very, very first appointment I had with a girl, and I was doing her nails, and they were like long, wide, French. I was working on it for hours, and 4 days later, she called me and said that all my nails came off. I was like, oh my God, because, you know, like at the time, it was only like 2 weeks before, like after I started, and I was like really, 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 really like freaked out. And I went like, when I did my exam, the girl called me that she went to get it removed after 5 weeks and there was nothing wrong with it. I was like, what happened? Like, it should be good. And I was like, and what did you do in the past few days? Oh, I was cleaning the car with this and that kind of chemicals. And I was like, did you use gloves? It's like, no. It's like, that's the reason. So it can hit you once a client calls you that they say that the nails came off and this and that, what happened. You have to tell your clients what to do with them. It's the same thing. You go to get your lash lift done, and the girl will tell you that you can't wash your face for 24 hours because if the water goes in onto the thing, it's gonna keep ruining the thing what you just done. Even if like, so the thing is that it's you're obligated to tell your clients what to do and what not to do, because how would they know if nobody tells them? Also, Another example, I have a client and she works at the post office and she has a little bit longer nails, not too long, but a little bit longer than usual. And she is always coming back with lifts and the chips and these kind of stuff. I was like, I always thought in my head, like, probably she's picking up a lot of money and parcels and these kind of stuff. So she works a lot with her hands. And I explained it in my head that that's why she has always a lot of trouble with her nails. And she was here 2 appointments ago and we were talking about something and I haven't started her nail yet. And she was listening, I was talking, and I noticed this is what she was doing. She was biting her nails like this. I was like, this is what you're really doing? She was like, yeah. I was like, do you do this often? I was like, yeah. I was like, then I always thought the problem is your job, but I told her, now I know the problem is you, and she started laughing. And she also told me that when she uses the fake tan and the face cream, she's always putting on like that, and it's stuck under the nail, and that's another problem. The cream stucks under the nail and they don't clean it out properly, and the cream can stuck there for hours. That means that it would soften the natural nail, and if the natural nail is very soft, it becomes really bendy. And the nail is too bendy, the product is not bendy, and that's how it gets the gap between the product and the natural nail, and that's why she's gonna have troubles later on. And she realized this, and she started to listen, and the next time she came back, she had no problem. So what we have to understand, that you can save yourself a lot of extra work if you explain your clients what to do, what not to do. The other thing I say at the very end, that if you pressure your nail at the end, that's how it's gonna crack on the side in here where we have the stress point, because we know that the stress point is the weakest part of the nail. So I tell them, you don't open a can of Coke with your nails, you don't like scratch stickers. Long story short, you don't pressure the end of the nail, because that's going to cause the problem. Yes, we do nice nails, we do beautiful nails, we do long-lasting nails, but if there's a client who is not treating her own nails nicely, nobody can save them. That's what we have to understand, and that's what the client has to understand. And also, when you tell her at the end, this is what you have to do and this is what you cannot do, they're gonna understand, like, you know what you're talking about, you know your shit, you're a good nail technician, you are trustworthy, you worth another time, if you know what I mean. I cannot tell you how many times I met new clients who came from another nail technician and they had no clue. Once there was a girl who showed up to get her nails done and she went like, can I wash my hands tomorrow? I was like, why would you ask this question? And she said, because the other nail technician told her, once you get your nails done, you can't wash your hands for 24 hours. So I could write a book about these kind of stories, but I really hope it was enough for today. In the next video, I'm going to keep talking about this kind of topic. I really hope it helped. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask in comments. And if you have a very specific question, I can make a video of it. And thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.